Welcome, 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 one and all in one, to J Wright Productions. I am your host today, Mr. J Wright. You seen the thumbnail, okay? You know what I'm talking about. That's right. This is Off the Top Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. As I said, this is Off the Top, where I just kind of throw out my thoughts about things, whether I like it, whether I didn't like it, whether I was indifferent, whether I was in the middle, hey, whether I cared, whether I didn't care, and then after I'm done, I basically leave it up to you guys in the comments down below to further the conversation. All right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in the Hot Shell, Kawabunga. So, I did go see the movie. I got to see the movie the other night. And actually, I wanted to kind of sleep on it and think on it, because I feel like had I came out of the theater and just gave you my opinion raw, just raw, like ODB, maybe I like it raw, if I just came to you like that, I feel like the way I felt coming out of the theater would not be fair to some people out in the intranets. So I slept on it. And, I thought it over and I said, you know what? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you the things I liked, the things that didn't work for me, and then, yeah. But first, I'm going to start it off by saying, listen, this in no way, what I say is in no way a plea to go see the movie or a plea to boycott the movie. None of that. I believe that your opinion is your opinion, and if you like something, awesome. If you didn't like something, awesome. It, is what it is. There's too much content out in the world for anybody to sit and just dwell on one and continue to harp on it over and over and over again. Misery loves company, and I ain't trying to do that. So, just wanted to give that to you people, to all you lovely people out there, before we got into this. I grew up on, I remember, in fact, I remember seeing the first comic for Ninja Turtles. I remember when the first cartoon in the late 80s, 89, I think it was, when it first came out. And I remember watching that over and over and over again. Like, I love that cartoon. I love the 90s live action movies. I think they're amazing. We won't talk about the third one too much. We don't talk about Bruno. Okay. I loved the 2003 Ninja Turtles. I love the 2007 animated TMNT movie. I have a guilty pleasure for the Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies. There have only been 2 Ninja Turtle iterations that I just kind of... Number 1 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. If you haven't seen that, it's out there. It's a live action series from I believe Saban, the same for Power Rangers Saban. That company made it, and well, yeah, it exists, right? So that's one. The next one for me, just unfortunately, happens to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Listen, I wanted to like it. I wanted to love it. I love the Ninja Turtles. Alright. I love the Ninja Turtles. Liar! By the way, if this is a quick one, if you haven't read The Last Ronin, go get it. It's an amazing Ninja Turtles story. If you haven't read it, go read it. Go get it. Get it in your collection. So let's talk about what I liked in Mutant Mayhem. I like the soundtrack, but we're gonna come back to that because the soundtrack is it's a bit of a mixed bag for me because of something else. But I did like the soundtrack. Obviously, there's tons of '90s songs, and I grew up in the '90s, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm bobbing to this. I'm vibing to this. Cool. The '90s, all right, cool. I got that. The Turtles themselves didn't bother me as much. I think it's once I kind of realized, like, all right, I guess I put it in my head. Yeah, they're teenagers, but maybe this iteration of them is a younger, so like 13, 14 ish. I don't know. Now that might not be. That's just what I put in my head, that they're, probably around that 13, 14-esque. And all the other iterations have been in their late teens. But I understood. I did like that we got Mondo Gecko. I love that character. So having Mondo Gecko in there was actually pretty freaking awesome. I enjoyed seeing Leatherhead in there. I didn't enjoy it as much as I probably would have, all things considered, but I did. Mondo Gecko in there was exactly how I would expect Mondo Gecko to act, and I enjoyed that part. I know I'm not trying to be like, oh man, he's just about to. I'm not, because I understand, and I'm gonna break it down why. The things I didn't like, I guess, for me, the jokes really did not land at all. I spent pretty much the whole movie just kind of like, and it sucks because I'm not someone, if you know me, then I'm not someone who it would have to take a lot for me not to laugh at something. I love laughing. I love smiling. I love humor. I love fun. But this, for me, before you guys come at me, for me, this was not fun. It was just, I don't know. It at times it felt like it was made for 12-year-olds, but made by a 12-year-old. And, is what it is. But I completely understand. Guess what? It wasn't made for me, and I'm perfectly fine with that. The audience it was made for, as long as they love it, it's not a big deal, right? As long as the audience who it was created for, then hey, I just don't. It wasn't made for me. I have seen some people who said they've been Ninja Turtle fans from the late '80s and they loved it. And hey, cool, great to them. But I've seen the other half, which is a lot of people who grew up on the Ninja Turtles, going, oh no, It didn't do. And I didn't like Splinter's origin. I feel like his origin should always be connected to Shredder. I don't know. Even if you're gonna redo it, that's fine. You want to do a retelling, but I feel like that is like such a key point to it, that his connection is always with Shredder. And hey, maybe they'll do that. I don't know. Maybe they'll get a sequel and they'll get that happening. I don't know. So I don't know what they have cooked up, and I'm not going to assume or think that I know what's gonna happen. So with that said, I really wasn't a fan of it. He felt kind of silly in a way. Splinter felt kind of silly, and I just feel like pretty much all except for the rise of the TMNT, that Splinter was also kind of goofy. But all the other iterations of Splinter I enjoyed more. The master, the sensei, the one who was more serious, so the turtles could be silly at times, and then Splinter was that one that brought them back to, hey, listen, you got to focus. And I don't know, there just wasn't that in this movie for me. I don't care about April being black. April could have been black, white, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care what she was, right? I just overall I didn't like the character. Like it felt different. She felt completely different, and I didn't like it. Yeah, I don't know. It felt weird. Ice Cube's Superfly was, I mean, it was okay, I guess. Just I felt like it was like a try hard for too much, and it had nothing to do with Ice Cube. I felt like it was just the way they wrote the character. I think Ice Cube's voice acting was fine. I think the voice acting in general was fine. Let me put that into the like category, because the voice acting was great. I didn't have a problem with any of the voice actors, but just the character itself, Superfly, was, I mean, is very, very, very forgettable. Is a very forgettable villain that, if you never seen him in anything else again, I would be perfectly, like, no one would care. No one would bat an eye and be like, hey, we need Superfly in this. So for me, that didn't hit. Now, getting back to the music, I felt like who the target audience was. It was for the Gen Z generation. And hey, listen, I'm not here to hate on that. If it's for them, great. But I feel like a lot of the music in it was from the 90s, which I feel like a lot of the Gen Z probably don't know 90% of those songs that they played, and so I think that was their way of trying to get the adult audience to kind of enjoy it more. I don't know. There was parts where I felt like the songs were just the wrong choice to be in certain situations. And I also felt like if you were going to do that, then it might as well just been set in the 90s. Like, put it in the 90s and let's go from there. I'm trying to think of, because like I said, had I came out of, I was a lot more angrier coming out of the theater watching this. And yeah, I probably would have gone on here and been like, this thing sucks, it's garbage. But I understood, after thinking about it, it just wasn't for me. And it's perfectly fine. That is okay if something is not for you. I think there's too many people out there who Sorry, I'm going to change this real quick. I think there's too many people out there who we allow what we like, nostalgia. We allow it to kind of destroy other people's enjoyment, and I think that that's a bad thing. Like, I think that's horrible. Like, my nostalgia should not ruin the fact that you love this. If you loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, by all means, hey, good for you, thumbs up. I definitely don't want to be someone who, spoils your dinner because I didn't enjoy it. For me, there was just nothing about it that I'm someone who sits through credits. All right. Marvel Studios has conditioned all of us to sit through credits on movies that aren't even Marvel anymore because everyone has end credits or mid credits, and I was so with this movie that I didn't even sit. I just got up and left. By the time it ended, I just didn't care. I didn't care about this new iteration anymore. I know that I believe there was a end credit or something like that. But yeah, by the time this was over, I didn't care about what was, to come in this iteration. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay. It's not the last time we'll ever see a retelling of the Ninja Turtles. It's just the next one. I mean, if you go back and you clock in all the different iterations of the Turtles, I mean, from the first comic book on, there's all of them have something different in it. It's just for the most part, they've been batting 100 with me, and this one just hey, you can't listen. I always say this: you can't like everything. Some things you won't like, and I didn't like this. I'm curious on what the whole point of them going to school. Spoiler. If you haven't seen it, spoiler. I'm curious on the whole them going to school. I don't know if that seems odd to me. Like we're just gonna pretend that they're just normal kids now, huh? Just going to school and just randomly miss school to go fight. I don't know. That also kind of just it was just kind of meh thing. The final fight, the final battle, I felt was just, it was like it was cluttered. I feel like that it was very cluttered, and I didn't feel a sense of, oh man, this was so awesome, the Turtles did it. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel like they overcame anything to do that. I feel like there was just everybody else in New York that was helping them do it, and that's what happened. So, hey, listen. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to give it my grade here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I'm going to give it a C-. And I'm going to give it a C- because I understand the audience it was made for. And, but I don't want to give it a lot because I didn't enjoy the film. It would be different if I understood it was for a different audience, but I still enjoyed the film. Yeah. But I was very bored through a good portion of the film. I think if it wasn't for the fact that, the kiddo was there and there was other kids there that, were making noise, that I probably would have fell asleep a couple times. Like there was a couple times where I laid my head back and my eyes started kind of drifting. But the kids enjoyed it, and I think that that's all that matters. You know, I think that that is all that matters. And so, hey, to all involved, congratulations. I don't know exactly what it did in the box office. I have to go check that out and see. See where it landed and see what it took in like worldwide. You know what? I could probably do that really quick right about now, huh? How about we go see what it did? It's a quick one. You just go to Box Office Mojo and you can figure it out. Oh! Alright, it looks like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem actually opened at number 4. So, Barbie still ruling the world. Was still number 1. The Meg 2, which I am actually surprised it opened so high. It came in at number 2. I enjoyed the first Meg movie. It's crazy. It's wild. I expect nothing more than just crazy, wild insanity in the second one. Oppenheimer came in at 3, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came in at number 4. And it looks like it's done pretty decent here in America. 51.5 million. Overseas is 9.8 million. Sorry. And given a grand total of, sorry if the lights and stuff it's getting darker here, and then, you know, so whatever. The grand total is sitting at $61.4 million. That being said, I don't wish ill will on it, and I hope that it does well. I hope that, you know, all those who enjoyed it, if they make the money that they need to make to break even and to make more, then I hope that they'll be able to continue the story for you. As for me, sorry. But you let me know what you thought of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you in the middle? What did you think? How did it make you feel? Are you angry? Are you letting nostalgia make you so angry that you're ruining it for someone else? Don't be a party pooper. Alright? Don't be a party pooper. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. If someone's enjoying it, let them enjoy it. You know, let them enjoy it. Why not? It's not going to hurt us. For those of us who are wishing that it would have been just something more than this, for those of us out there wishing that it wasn't for us, let's just move on and, you know, move on to the next. All right? I don't ever have to see this movie again if I don't want to. Those who love it are going to see this movie multiple times. And it should be that way, right? So let's not let nostalgia ruin it for them. And yeah, just, you know, respect everybody, you know. Respect each other, enjoy each other's opinion, and, you know, we can have friendly debates out there. Just keep it keep the keep the anger down. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway, before you go on your merry little way, like I said, post a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Before you go, hey, some of you might be going to go see the movie. Before you go see the movie, please be a light in someone's life today, tonight, tomorrow, every day. If you can't be a light in someone's life today, then I hope someone will be a light in your life today. All right? Because, trust me, you're worth it. Until next time, I'm Mr. J. Wright.